Yo, what up? What up? What up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican bad man, Sergio, aka the floor price guy. Last week, Carlos Ulberg knocked out. Are you good? He's button mashing over there. Last
Nah, we're
week, Carlos Ulberg knocked out Dominic Reyes. Reyes looked a little stuck in the mud. He looked like who knew what his game plan was, right? Or maybe that was supposed to happen all along, right? Or maybe he was just starstruck or the time zone, whatever it was. We were wrong. And I know you're happy because you're a adamant believer in John Jones, so this solidifies his case a lot more that he should have won that fight. Are you good over there, brother? What's going on with the noises over there?
no, it's just the volume, just putting you a little bit higher up. Now we're good.
But yeah. Anyways, aside from that, we still gave you dog money and Kobe thickness in Montague and Tainara parlay in Montague secure. Was it Montague or Tainara securing takedowns? What prop did you do? You did a prop.
Both girls actually. I'm looking at
Both
the
girls. Both
yeah.
girls doing takedowns, right? Pericic getting the KO early on. Everybody knew he was going to come in and starch. Um, what's his name? Ellison. Yeah, but good card overall, man. How you doing?
It was good. It was a great card. Always nice to do this with you. I mean, Crude under two takedowns, right? Crude went for the submission. Um, I put it under two, 2.5, and it hit. Thank God, minus 165. And Montague, over 2.5. She needs to really work on her striking, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Look
like
bad.
Ronda Rousey level, right?
Yeah, didn't look good.
Tainara over 1.5. I kept it humble. And we called it. Tainara was just going to be a little bit too much on her. That's what it is. Sterling looked good. Um, Again, Bellotto, right? He's not going super crazy for the kill. He's just doing exactly what he needs to do. The Tom Nolan money line was pretty good. Um, Campbell came in hot, thought he was gonna knock him out, and guess who got knocked out? It was insane, but it was a good card, bro. We ate, we had a good time. Um, we'll talk very quickly about Reyes. Um, I was on the fence and I leaned with Reyes, similar to you, but we both did not expect Reyes to go out like that. It looks like he was in a deer in the headlights, unprepared. Feels like he didn't do any preparation. Like, and then or when he did, it was a guy worse than Ulbrich. So Uber's counterpunching abilities. Shout out to Israel Adesanya. Shout out to Sterling. Those guys that City Kickboxing camp is known for that. Even Volkanovski is amazing at counterpointing, right? Like comes from that camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
you hit him with that nice check hook, left hook, put him out. Started with the right, put him out with the left hook. That's all she wrote. Move on here to our card this Saturday, UFC 320. Ankalaev taking on Pereira for the second time, 7 months apart from their initial bout, where Pereira lost his title in a unanimous decision loss to Magomed Ankalaev. Now the roles are reversed. They're running it back. In the co-main, we have Merab Dvalishvili defending his title for the third time this year. First time was against Umar Nurmagomedov, then Sean O'Malley too, and now we're here. Very, very good card. I'm excited for a lot of the fights on the main card. Let's get into this breakdown. Kicking off the card, we have women going after. We have Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. Veronica Hardy has um, the upside in this fight. I think she's the favorite by a large margin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Yep.
minus 600 favorite, and I think it's deserving. It's women's MMA, but I think Veronica Hardy's the better fighter. I don't see Brogdon Walker coming forward, securing the takedowns like um what's her name that Veronica Hardy fought last?
Mora.
Eduardo Mora. Mora was able to take her down and suppress the taekwondo, the striking, but I think Veronica Hardy's movement's going to be good. She's going to be able to stay on the outside, move in and out, and just have her way with Brogan. I don't think Brogan's going to be able to incorporate that game plan and win here. So she does have good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, however, but her offensive grappling isn't the best in Walker. So I think Hardy gets it done here.
Hardy should get it done. Minus 600. I gotta say, we've seen what Hardy's able to. I wouldn't put money on Hardy. I'll probably look at the over, the under, just to kind of see if there's value there. 7-4, not a single win in the UFC. Um, doesn't really tell me anything, man. And the last time she fought was close to 2 years and a half. Veronica Hardy has been a little bit outside. I would assume it's kind of healing injuries, making sure that when she's back, she's ready. I'm
Mhm.
gonna go with Veronica Hardy, but in terms of putting a bet, I think this is a live situation where if Brogana is able to kind of put it on in the first round, if odds go, they drop for Hardy, maybe it's an entry point,
Yeah.
but we'll find out on fight night.
We'll find out. We're both going with Hardy to get it done to open up the card. Next up, we have a really good fight in Ramiz Brahimaj taking on Austin Vanderford. This is Austin Vanderford's second fight in the UFC. He last made his UFC debut on short notice against Vertenikov, who is also on this card. He's an American wrestler. He looks to take you down. His striking isn't the best. He normally just uses it to level change. However, he has been chinned before. He has been finished. Brahimaj is on a 2-fight win streak. He focuses heavily on grappling. He's more of a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy as opposed to a wrestler. So this is a wrestler versus somebody who has solid grappling on the ground, like in sense of a BJJ, right? But this fight's interesting because I think of the two, Brahimaj is the better striker, I would say, but Vanderford is the better grappler, right? So a lot of people knock Brahimaj because you look at his fight against Temba Garimbo. Temba Garimbo was able to take him down, hold him down. Uh, Court McGee, same. So do you see that same thing happening here where Vanderford has his way? Vanderford also does get tired. He looked tired against, I mean, he didn't look tired against Veternikov. He won, but he does have a gas tank issue. When he doesn't get the takedowns, he does kind of wither as the fight progresses. But I don't know. This is an interesting fight. Grappler versus grappler. I like Brahimaj's mindset. Last time out against Billy Ray Goff, he got the sub. He got the guillotine. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Brahimaj. I think his takedown defense is gonna improve. He might get taken down, but I think he's gonna be able to find ways to find positions of advantages and get him here. I like him as a dog.
I was gonna say that when Brajimov came in against Billy, he was a massive underdog. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that. Big
Hmm.
underdog, and got him out of there with a guillotine choke. Now I am gonna side with Brahima. I like his striking.
Hmm.
I think he has a little bit more it, and I also I have to say that Brajimov, with his last two losses with Garimbo and also Court McGee, he's been working on his deficit. Now with Vanderford, my apologies. I don't know, man. I think he's gonna get tested this fight. This fight it's a good fight, like you said, both grapplers. Um, I'm gonna go with Brajimov. I think the striking, he gets it done.
Yeah, I think Brahimaj is a good dog here. He has the more UFC experience, and I think he's just getting better, right? I think his mind is in the right place. He said it last time out. He's partnered with DC, right? He talks to DC a lot. He has that. He's trying to improve on his grappling defense, right? When it comes to facing wrestlers. So we'll see what happens. We'll move on here to Punahele Soriano taking on Nikolai Varentenikov. Um, this is an interesting fight as well, right? Uh, Soriano last time out knocked out Uros Medic. I think he was the underdog in that fight. That was the first card of the year, I want to say, in February.
Yep.
He does have wrestling. He can incorporate the wrestling. He does have power behind his shots. He isn't the most consistent and he has poor takedown defense. But, you look at Vertenikov, I remember in his loss to Austin Vanderford, he got aggressive, right? I think, didn't he like go after him after the fight or something like that? He was upset
Yeah.
with the stoppage or something like that. He's durable. He pushes the pace. He utilizes his power decent enough. He does struggle on the ground. He can be taken down. He won a close fight against Prado where I think he should have lost. I think Prado did enough in that third round to get the fight, but somehow the judges gave him the first two rounds and he pulled out victorious. Um, he was controlled, however, by Prado, and he was tagged a few times. And he did have nice moments where he took down Prado as well. So he does have takedowns too. But I think Soriano's going to beat him here, man.
I'm going with Soriano. Soriano made me money in his last fight against Medic, knocked him out in the first exchange. I just don't like Nikolai's gas tank. I don't like his grappling ability. I thought that Soriano was going to be the bigger fighter, but he's not. It's interesting because he's coming down from middleweight where he's faced a lot of good guys in the top 10. I have to say, well, Brendan Allen, kind of top 10 fighter. Um, yeah, I mean, look, the favorite is justified. A minus 220. I would try and look into see if he can kind of get it done in the first round too. I would look kind of like to see that odd because Serrano is a very explosive fighter where Nikolai is a little bit more kind of slower. So I'm gonna hedge with Soriano. I like him. Um,
Yeah,
I just want to see how I want to see the weigh-ins. I want to see how bigger the both guys look next to each other as well.
right on. We'll see what happens. We're both going with Soriano. Next up, we have Patchy Mix taking on Jacob Wilklex, however you say his last name. This is a better fight for Patchy Mix. First time out, they threw him to the dogs. They gave him Mario Bautista. This is more so suited for him. This is a grappler who doesn't have the best striking. So Bautista should win here. He should be able to get the grappling going. Last time out, a lot of people criticized him for his footwork, his head movement, his striking, but I think that was his welcome to the UFC, and now they're giving him somebody who's better suited for him. So I'm gonna go with Patchy Mix. He's
Where
fought
the
the better
odds,
competition. He's a former champ. He's fought way tougher competition. So Patchy Mix.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Patchy Mix too. The one thing I would kind of I don't. I honestly like a minus of 250. I'm staying away from Patchy Mix, but one of the things I will be doing is I'm going to look at the takedowns. I'm going to see. I think he learned his lesson when it comes to, hey, you know what? Maybe I should go for a little bit more for the takedown. The only thing I'm concerned about is the footwork. Like it's just that flat foot, not
Yeah.
bouncy, stagnant. I would love to see if Jacob is able to kind of see if he can have success. I think there's a big possibility, but like I said, if Patchy says I'm going to grapple this guy, let me use what I'm good at, he has success all night. Um, let's see if the odds also go down because at a minus 250, I'm not brave enough right now, champ.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are discouraged with Patchy, but the odds are the odds because of his experience, his hype around him. So we'll see. We're both going with Patchy to get it done here. Next up, we have women going after it. Macy Chiasson taking on Yana Santos. Yana Santos is on a 2-fight win streak. In her last 2 fights, um, she looks really good, right? She utilizes her kickboxing. She stays on the outside. She kind of point strikes. She wins the first 2 rounds. She won the first 2 rounds against Chandler and Misha Tate. She was taken down in that third round against Tate, but it wasn't enough. And Tate's older, right? She's not the same Tate as before.
No.
I know a lot of people were rooting for her. They had her as an underdog pick, but she didn't get it done. Macy Chiasson last time out lost to Ketlin Vieira. That's top 5. She wasn't able to get the striking going as much as she liked, and then on the ground was where the difference was, right? So I think it's a more suited fight for her if she goes back to her roots, where she utilizes her Muay Thai, she utilizes her movement. Um, yeah, Santos is a good dog here, but I'm gonna go with Chiasan, man. I think this is a better fight for her. The size,
Yeah,
the reach.
and I'm going to side with the underdog. I think the underdog gets it done this fight, and I just like what I've seen from the minted mother, right? The mother, Thiago Santos, came back, bro. He came back good against Misha Tate. Now, here's the thing about it. Like, I want to see if these odds goes up a little bit more at a minus 225. Macy has lost to that top 10, right? Um, yeah, like I would love to see if she's able to kind of press her, use her taekwondo. She has very good kicks, very good footwork. But again, if I'm Chasey, if I'm Chiasen, I'm trying to look for the takedown. Maybe the bet here as well. Like I'm gonna pick Santos. I don't know if I'm gonna bet, but I would bet on some takedown for Macy. So I'm gonna
Right on.
probably look for what's the 2, what's the 3, because if Macy able to kind of take her down and just keep her there, I think it's a good
You're
bet.
starting to fall in love with those takedown props, huh?
They've been landing. The more data you use, the more you're just like, okay, we'll striker this, like striker that. Wait till we
Yeah.
get to Rob. Anyway, so I'm going for the dog. You're going for the favorite.
Right on. Daniel Santos taking on Ju Sang Yu. I'm gonna go with Daniel Santos, man. He's the favorite now. Earlier in the week, he was the underdog. I just think since he's came back from his hiatus, he's looked better. And a bit in a different weight class too, right? If I'm not mistaken. Well, yeah, he was at bantamweight. Now he's at featherweight. So
Other bit, eh? Let me just
yeah,
check once. I want to see 9-0. Yeah, and this fight was supposed to happen a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No.
It was, no, it was. It was supposed to take place. Um, I feel that this card was pulled from one of the cards, and they
I'm
kind
not
of
sure.
threw him here. That's okay. Um, I'll look up the data, but I have a feeling that we kind of covered this Willie Cat. I'm gonna go. I just like Santos' demeanor a little bit more. I think he has the kind of the itch, and let's see how you does. But I'm gonna side with the favorite. I'm interested to see if the line increases as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna continuously increase. Juseng Yu's got a lot of hype around him because of his power, right? But he knocked out Jack Sargai, who's not that good. Second fight in the UFC. We'll see what Willie Cat does. And Juseng Yu. So we'll move on here too. Fareed Basharat taking on Chris Gutierrez. This is the better Basharat brother, the undefeated Basharat brother who uses that karate base. He's light on his feet. I think he's gonna win here, man. I think he's gonna be able to get the kicks going, check the leg kicks of Chris Gutierrez, who's really good at throwing them, incorporate the wrestling, and remain undefeated here. So I'm going with Basharat to get it done.
Yeah, Bossard all the way. I think he has the footwork to kind of keep him at bay. He did very good against Castagna in his last fight.
Castaneda, yeah.
Castaneña. Heavy favorite, I have to say. Holy shit, what a
Mhm.
heavy favorite. Wow. I mean, do you grab a couple of favorites, three parlays, put all the favorites in and see? I'm gonna go with Farid. I don't know if I'm betting though. I'll be honest with you, champ. I would like to see the game plan of Gutierrez because Gutierrez is very known for his
Mhm.
calf kicks, his very good kick. So let's see
Very
how
good.
he implements those.
But he does get taken down. Like I think in his last fight, even though he won, he did get taken down by Castaneda, and I think Basharat's gonna be able to take him down with ease. So
Will, eh?
yeah, yeah. So next up we have what's next? We have Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Munoz, striker versus grappler here. So it all depends on what side you're on. If you think Munoz is gonna be able to take him down and sub him like Mearshot did, just remember that Shabazian was gassed. He did have him hurt. He got choked out in that fight, but I think he's going to be able to find the chin of Andre Munoz, man. Up against, Ikram Aliskrov, he hit him with the left hook. It wasn't even that, hard of a punch. Dropped him. Got finished with ground and pound. I think Edmund Shabazian has a good jab. He's going to be able to find the chin, man. I'm going to go with Edmund Shabazian.
Yeah, I think Edmund has learned from this. Like, I don't think Muniz threatens Shabazian whatsoever with the
Mm-hmm.
striking. He's going to come on because he knows it's going to come. And Shabazian is also a grappler. It's just he's
Mm-hmm.
better as a striker. And, I think there's been like a mental hurdle there, similar to Ronda Rousey. This is a finish. I think he finishes the guy with a TKO KO because Muniz is known for gassing out. So
Yeah.
I think the prop bet here is a knockout. Um, I don't want to guess the round because, like I said, if Muniz is going to be fresh in the first round, so I would even want to I would even hope that Muniz does damage in the first round. So
Mm.
then, if Edmund can come pick it up in the second, then he's the dog. So maybe I look at a live money, but I think the bet here is a KO by Shamazian.
Right on. KO by Shabazian. We'll move on here to Atiba Gaultier taking on Tristan Vines. He originally was supposed to take on Ozzy Diaz, who pulled out with an illness, I believe. In comes
Yep.
Tristan Vines. I think Atiba Gautier is just poised here to get the knockout. I think he's going to get the dub. I think Tristan Vines, he does have a 4-fight win streak. He has
Yeah.
three finishes in his last three fights. He's a bit aggressive, but he also has been touched on the chin before. He has been dropped. And I think Atiba Gautier with the fight camp, the longer preparation, right? He's going to be able to get the dub here. Probably going to finish him.
Middleweight Francis Ngannou, first round knockout. Like, how do you not deny this guy? And he's doing all the right things. He's training at the Performance Institute. So he's getting help with his conditioning, with his strength training, and also with the areas that he's lacking, which is the grappling. So, like I said, Sterling runs kind of like the ground division over there. That's pretty cool. I think, bro, this is Gutierrez all the way. What's the odds right now? Like, yeah, they don't even show it, champ. I would say minus 800.
Minus 800. Yeah.
No, no, I'm asking. You think it's like
I
is
don't
a
know.
minus?
They're probably going to have him at 1,000 by the time the fight comes. I
That's
think so,
fine.
right? Minus 1,000, probably by the time the fight comes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can kind of get odds now. It's very quickly. Let me just kind of look at
Yeah.
Veronica Hardy Ramirez is it's set on here. Oh no, they haven't added it yet. So
Yeah, they're probably not gonna add it till after the weigh-ins. I
no,
think it's gonna be minus 1,000.
no.
That is our prelim. That is our featured prelim. Kicking off the main card, we got Joe Pfeiffer taking on Abus Magomed Magomedov. Now, this is a good fight, man. But I think, as much as I don't like Joe Pfeiffer, I think he's gonna get the dub here, man. So I'm gonna rock with Joe Pfeiffer, man. I think his striking's a little better. He's a little more technical. These both guys do get knocked out. Do you see do get knocked out? They do get tired as the fight progresses. Do you see them going the distance?
No, I don't think it's Michael. Well, I mean, look, he went to this in against Kevin Gastelum.
Hmm.
What does that tell us, right? It could have been an off night. Kevin minus 220, sitting right now at a what do you call it? At a minus 265. Let's face it, like that Pfeiffer is if Magomed is gonna go for the takedown. He's gonna really try to kind of leg kick, switch it up, and go
Yeah,
for the.
and Pfeiffer was able to drop, I think, Gaslam in that fight, right? Didn't he?
Multiple
Gaslam
times.
has a strong chin, but he was able to drop him, put him on his pockets. And Abus has been finished before. Last time out against Michelle Pereira was kind of a staring contest. Neither of those guys really engaged, right? They never really went for it. So I think Joe Pfeiffer's going to come out aggressive. Abus, as you mentioned, might incorporate some leg kicks, some teep kicks, and search for the takedown. But I think Pfeiffer training with Sean Brady, his takedown defense is going to hold up against Abus, and should be able to put him out.
I think
I think
a good a good bet too, champ. If you're relying on Pfeiffer to take him out, like I'm loving takedown props. Maybe it's a boost at a under 1.5. I think that's a great bet
yeah,
if he
maybe.
could take him down. If
Yeah,
sorry, if he can't take him down. So we're
maybe.
gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. We're both going with Joe Pfeiffer to get it done. Next up, we have Yusuf Salah taking on Josh Emmett. I think this fight's gonna be an exact replica of Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett, Yusuf Salah versus Calvin Cater. They're not gonna want to engage with the striking. He's gonna have the movement. He's gonna be light on his feet. He's gonna stick and pop. Yusuf Zalal last time out got criticized, however, in his fight against Calvin Cater because he was quote unquote running in the third round. He wasn't able to take him down. He kind of accused him of greasing too, remember? At the post fight. So do you see him wanting to wrestle with Emmett? Emmett has a wrestling background. I don't think so. He has a wrestling background and he has the punching power. So yeah, I think Zalal is going to win here. A lot of people are going to probably pick Emmett because of his knockout power. He's a hard hitter, but I think Zalal is on the up and coming. So
11-year difference too between both fighters. You have that, and I like Josh Emmett. I think Josh Emmett is a good power puncher, and but Yusuf Zalal demonstrated us in his last fight that he has all the tools to kind of run this guy, run pick and pop, similar
yeah,
to what Murphy did. I'm trying to remember now if okay, so Emmett did win the decision against Calvin Cater that was 3 years ago. That was a whole different
yeah,
fighter. I just think Zalal is gonna run circles on him.
yeah.
Now, yeah, I mean,
And Zalal can wrestle. He's a wrestler. He doesn't have
yeah.
much power, but his defensive wrestling is as good as his offensive wrestling. So I think that kind of cancels each other out. So it's going to be him just sticking and popping, sticking and popping, sticking and moving.
And hope he doesn't make a mistake too, because I think that's what Josh Emmett. I think he's been training with a little bit more with TJ Dillashaw in this camp, so maybe they're trying to figure out ways of openings like they can kind of come in at him. This is going to be a good fight. I like this pay per view. I'm going to go with Zalal. Um, yeah, I mean, like, I just hope Zalal is very conditioned for this fight.
Yeah, yeah. I think he'll be okay here. I think this will be a good spot for him. So we're both going with Zalal. Next up, we have Jiri Prohaska taking on Khalil Roundtree Jr. This is a fight that I'm excited for. This is probably one of my most anticipated fights I want to see on this card. We got two guys going after it. Last time out, they both beat Jamal Hill. They both lost to Alex Pereira. Uh, Former champ Jiri is the favorite and deservingly so, right? He's a former
Yeah,
champ. He's only lost. I saw a stat that he's only lost to two guys in the last 10 years, and that's Alex Pereira. It's
that's
interesting,
crazy.
right? Uh, However, in this fight, do you see like it depends on what you think is going to happen? Do you think Jiri Prohaska is going to come forward, frustrate Khalil Roundtree because he doesn't fight well when he's on the back pedal, right? Like we saw against Alex Pereira. When Alex Pereira pushed the pace, he can't fight. He can't fight well moving backwards. So, do you see Jiri Prohaska putting a pace on him and beating him all 3 rounds, maybe knocking him out? Jiri in the past has concerned me with his unorthodox style. He keeps his hand low. He kind of exposes his chin, right? He kind of tries to bait you in. Uh, his head movement did look good against Jamal Hill, however. Like that's
Yeah.
one thing that I remember speaking of was his head movement. And then Khalil Roundtree looked good against Jamal Hill as well, right? He dropped him 4 or 5 times, whereas Jiri Prohaska knocked him out. I think we're gonna see Khalil allow Jiri to move forward, be the aggressor. And I think he's going to really have the upside when it comes to the counter punching. Because if you watch Khalil in his fights, he does a really good job in game planning and like switching his stances, right? So it depends what stance we're going to see. We're going to see the Muay Thai stance, or we're going to see the hands low, or we're going to see the high guard. I think Khalil is going to be able to be the more technical striker when it comes to Jiri being the more aggressive striker, right? And I think the counter striking is going to be the differentiating factor. So I'm gonna go with Khalil. I like him as a dog.
We're kind of in tune. This card, I'm gonna go with Roundtree as well. I
Yeah.
just yeah. Okay, so here's the thing about it. You look at the past tapes of
Hmm.
Roundtree and you say, "Fuck!" Like, what was going on? I think he's figured it out. And now the thing is, when he fought Pereira, he came good that fight. He actually came very good. And then
Yeah.
he has a fight with Jamal Hill, which I picked Roundtree, and he was composed, technical, his conditioning. The most important thing about this, his conditioning held up to 5 rounds. And that's what makes him dangerous. Jiri is no joke, but Jiri is often too crazy. I, that's that fight with Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill did hit him a couple different times that it's like, oh shit. But this Jiri is having more pop that night. I'm gonna go with Roundtree here. Jiri could get it done, bro. This is a 50. This to me
This is a
50.
this is a 50-50. Jiri can also grapple if he needs to, right? He does have a grappling edge in comparison to Roundtree. So, do we see Jiri trying to come out and be technical, sound, trying to win a fight, or do you see him coming out here
He's
trying to
gonna try.
entertain? Do you
He's
see him
gonna
coming out
try.
here trying to entertain and just like let's go
No, no,
for the
no.
kill?
He's gonna. One of the things he's been practicing. We saw it with Jamal Hill. He practices his putting his arms up, right? So
Yeah,
that's the thing that we need to be aware of. If Jerry starts here, as the fight progresses, he goes here,
yeah,
right? So it's something that I want to because Roundtree has this run he's had. He's been more technical. Now I don't know
yeah,
the crazy shit that he's gonna throw at him. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Roundtree, man. I think this fight is so intriguing, champ. It's gonna
yeah,
and as dog money plus 180 right now. Have the odds dropped? Let's check. So we're sitting right now at a plus 154. So there's
yeah,
money going to Roundtree, and
yeah.
you can't deny it. Uh, Muay Thai stance, firm. Um, I would say if I'm Jiri, I'm attacking that body. I'm going for the body.
Yeah, and if I'm Roundtree, I'm gonna, let Jiri push forward, utilize the counter striking, and then, you know, get the leg kicks going, right? Get the leg kicks going because that's something Khalil Roundtree does really well, right? Is those leg kicks, man.
Especially with the stance.
Yeah, with the stance that he has. So it's gonna be really interesting to see his game plan. And, you know, he's one fight away from challenging for the title. So I would say Uberg's up there.
Both
Uberg's
fighters
next. Both
are
these guys, right? So
yeah,
yeah, so we'll
it's
see.
crazy.
But we're
Yeah.
both going with Roundtree to get it done. It's going to be a banger of a fight, 50-50. So depending on what side you are, what belief you are, what camp you're in. So great fight. Next up, we have Merab Duvalishvili taking on Corey Sandhagen, defending his belt, his bantamweight title. What do we know about Merab Duvalishvili? He has weaponized cardio, you know, against Umar Nurmagomedov. That was the differentiating factor, right? Because he was losing those first two. He lost those first 2 rounds. Umar was the better striker of the two. He attacked the body. He broke his hand in that fight, but granted, it was the cardio because what happened in the third and fourth and fifth round? Umar slowed down, right? And then his takedowns weren't as clean. His striking wasn't as crisp. Um, and then against O'Malley, he was able to finish him off that time around, right? Made a statement.
Yeah.
Boom. Now against Corey Sandhagen is a well-rounded guy. I mean, he stood there 5 rounds with Umar Nurmagomedov. He has good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He has also good striking. He's long. He's lengthy. He also has good cardio. He also is good off his back. But I just think Marab is on a whole nother level right now when it comes to that weaponized cardio, that chain wrestling. A lot of people say that, he's not that good of a grappler because he's always shooting. So when you're always shooting doesn't mean you're always successful, right? So that's why his numbers are high. But the reason they're so high is because of his cardio, right? He's always coming at you. He's tiring you out in that regard. So and his striking is getting better, man. He stood there with O'Malley for a bit and he was exchanging, right? Well, a lot of people thought, a lot of people were knocking him in the past that, oh, he has a chin, Henry Cejudo dropped him, Moraes dropped him, right? Like he can get cracked, but I think his boxing's improving, his weaponized cardio, and Sandhagen's good, but we've seen him get out wrestled and choked out before, right? By Sterling. So I don't know. I think Marab's gonna get it done here, man. Does he finish him? Mm,
Well, I mean, I think, like I said, I'm liking these prop bets for takedowns. Like if you're
mhm.
Marab, you're taking this dude down a couple different times. Now Marab has come out and stated that he will not. He's 90% of the fight is gonna be held on strike. He's
Yeah,
gonna strike this dude, and I'm like, this is not your average fighter. This is if TJ Dillashaw and Dominic Cruz had a son, this footwork. Now here's where I'm a little bit um intrigued. Um, Sanhagen has a new head coach, which is Trevor Whitman.
hmm
Champ, like this is where I'm just like, is Marab undeniable, and is he the ultimate bad guy, or are we sleeping on Sanhagen? Because because that's the thing about it. If you're gonna strike, you're telling me you have an option of striking, and the thing is now it's interesting because Marab wants to strike. And now Sandhagen is like, no, but I'll welcome the grappling now. So both fighters have worked very well. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Marab. I think the prop bet is 5 takedowns plus 4. Try to kind of check out the odds, right?
yeah,
I kind of broke down that in a 3 round fight, Marab is averaging 3 to 4 takedowns. Against championship caliber, he's averaging now 5 and 6. And
yeah.
then who has better takedown defense, Peter Yan or Corey Sandhagen?
It's a good question.
Very good question, right? Because he took Peter Yan 7 times down. It might be more. Um, I'm gonna go with Marab, bro. But like, I'm so curious to see if Sandhagen, because Sandhagen has good cardio, and they're saying, oh, it's the first time Sandhagen has fought for a belt. No, Sandhagen fought for the interim belt against Peter Yan. So I don't know, man. I think Sandhagen's going to be a sleeper, but I'm going to go with Marab because once Marab decides to take him down, that's it. Did you get a chance to look at the video with Mighty Mouse?
No, I haven't watched that. No.
It's super intriguing because two things, and I understand Mighty Mouse is retired, but it started with play, with fun, and then Mighty Mouse starts to get, okay, I'm going to test this guy a little bit.
Yeah,
Once Marab said, oh, you're going to do that, submits him right away, submits him again, and this is DJ Dillashaw now that's in the world of jiu-jitsu. So they cut the scene, and Marab and Rosa start grappling, and Rosa is being rough with Marab. Bro, Marab just fucking manhandled that kid, bro. Just tapped him down.
yeah,
So that's the thing about it. Like if Sandhagen is having a lot of success in the striking department, Marab's going to flip the switch. And again, why would Marab, even though he's saying it, why would Marab strike with you? Marab's bread and butter, and we always know that is sticking, takedown, sticking, throwing. You're not going to
yeah.
land it? No good. I'll do it again.
But that's all. That's all pre-fight crap because like Ankalaev last time out said, "Oh, I'm gonna wrestle you for 25 minutes. Be ready." And what happened? It was
No,
striking.
he's just gonna strike him.
No,
But
he
Lau
no he no
answered.
he no he, no he said I'm gonna get ready to wrestle, and then he switched
Oh,
it to
yeah.
striking. So it's just selling the fight, right? Trying to get into the opponent's head. So I think we
Yeah.
all know what Marab's gonna bring, and we all know what Sanhagen brings. And as you said, with his new coach, it's gonna be interesting what his game plan is. Yeah, he might be able to. When you're fresh and dry, your takedown defense might be good, but what's gonna happen in the second and third round where you're and Sandhagen has good cardio too, right? He has good cardio, but what's gonna happen when this guy just doesn't stop, man? Just keeps coming, keeps cutting off angles, keeps trying to come at your legs. What are you gonna do?
And champ, we have to say it, like the fight we both had Umar, because Umar looked unstoppable. Even those first, like if Umar gets his wrestling, like his cardio on point, I would love to see that fight. I
He
would
broke
love.
his hand, bro. He broke his hand. He broke his hand in the fight.
But he has to build up now. He because it's not you
Yeah,
gotta beat up a couple. I think Peter Yan and him or Marab's next for Peter Yan, but he looked good those 2 rounds. But it was also I think conditioning too. Could the hand and conditioning.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
it was a great in that like they had Marab as an underdog in that fight by a big margin too. So let's not
yeah,
forget that. We're both gonna go with Marab. It's gonna be an interesting fight. I'm actually more excited for that fight than the main event. I have to say.
yeah. It's gonna be a good fight. Marab, I think, will remain victorious and probably go on to try to beat Dominic Cruz's record, right? Five title
So,
defenses.
so he has 2 defenses right now.
Yeah,
Sterling
he
has
ties
3.
Sterling. Yeah, he'll tie
Ties
Sterling if
Sterling,
he wins.
then gets Peter Yan, and then fights. Fuck.
Bautista or whoever,
You imagine
or
Bautista win?
Umar. Oh yeah, they're
Umar.
fighting, right? Umar. Yeah, so yeah, Umar would be the fifth one. Imagine if he beats Umar a second time, and then that's
Well,
his fifth
he
one.
beats him, but then he has to fight one more time to become the GOAT. I think that's
Yeah,
going to be the discussion.
yeah. So we'll see. Moving on here to our main event, Magomed Ankalaev taking on Alex Pereira. You know, in their first fight, Magomed Ankalaev was kind of propped up to be this pressure grappler who's gonna take him down. He's Dagestani, and that was the misconception a lot of people had. But he's actually a really good striker, man. Like he doesn't get the respect that he deserves when it comes to the striking realm. He does incorporate some takedowns. He averages 1 point, around 2 takedowns per 15 minutes at a 50% accuracy. You look at that first fight, what we've known about Alex Pereira, right? Like he has that touch of death, that left hook. He has that kickboxing, that those leg kicks, that the high kicks. He put Jiri away with the head kick. Um, but he's commonly in his bag when he's the aggressor. He's moving forward. He's stalking you, right? That's when he's in his bag. But I think in that first fight, the threat of the takedown caused him to be more reserved. So he was fighting on the back leg, right? And Ankalaev was able to get him in the clinch, right? He even hit him with the left hook. I think it was the third round or the fourth as the round ended, and he
Exactly
buckled.
when he's backing up, right? Yeah.
He buckled Alex Pereira, and there's people there. Joe Rogan says that Alex Pereira had a broken hand. Alex Pereira didn't deny it, but he also said that he was compromised. He didn't confirm it, but he said that he was compromised in that fight. He was sick. I think norovirus or something like that. He was compromised, is what his story was. He went on Ariel Hawani's show, so that's one thing that you can consider and look at when it comes to like breaking down this fight. But in a 7-month span, I think with Alex realizing, okay, his takedowns weren't as successful, I'm going to be able to, like, they kind of got a feel for each other now, right? So do you see Alex learning from that and then kind of, taking more chances moving forward? Or do you see this fight playing out the same with, Ankalaev realizing, okay, I touched this guy once, I can find the chin, I can knock him out, and being more aggressive and coming out and putting him away? That's the thing that's where I'm at. Is Pereira do better in the clinch when he's held up against the fence? Um, it's gonna be interesting, man. I think Magomed in those 6 months, he's more locked in, he's more dialed in. He's the younger guy, right? He's 33 years old compared to Pereira's 38. Pereira's already talking about not making 205 anymore. He's kind of like has one foot out the door, right? Thinking about heavyweight. So I don't know, man. I think Magomed's probably gonna win again. I don't know if do you think he puts out Pereira or he wins a decision?
I'm gonna go with Pereira. Actually, I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
I hear like Joe Rogan was kind of talking about is that what he's been talking and what he's seen at the Performance Institute, it's not the same reflection. Like
Hmm.
the thing is, this guy is putting in the work, right? So I think it's also we see the Nina drama shit. The he's trying to get out there, promote. He's trying to grow his brand per se, right?
Yeah.
But the rumor has it that this guy's been fucking training. This guy's been quicker. And the last couple of videos, I have to say, he's looked very, very good. Now, when it leads to this fight, he has to take a different approach in this fight because he can't wait for the takedown anymore. He has to shoot. He has to. And I'm going to go with Pereira. I think we see the best version of Pereira, but I also say that Ankalaev has made mistakes, and we will see mistakes being made in this fight. The
You think
pressure's on
what mistakes?
uh what do you call it what's the guy that retired that submitted him, for example. I know it's different, but Craig, it's not Daniel Craig, oh my god,
Paul Craig. Yeah, Paul Craig.
Paul Craig, right, submitted like those little mistakes he's made, like those draws, those like those fuckeries, like he's had a lot of different catalyst events, and now champ, he's the top dog. He's entering with all that pressure, all that stuff. And again, this is me assuming, right? Because in this game, you have to play the assumption game. Unfortunately, I just think Pereira's going to be. I think Pereira prepared a little bit too much on the grappling and the striking. If he was compromised, he couldn't because he wasn't pressing, he wasn't throwing. He
And
allowed Magomedov to kind of dictate the pace of the fight.
here's an interesting thing too. In the past 5 fights that Pereira has had, this is the longest he's gone with a break in between fights. Like this is 7 months. Like if you look at his fight against Jiri in 2023, he took 5 months to fight Jamal Hill. So he fought Jamal Hill within 5 months of that. He then fought Jiri again within 2 months of that, right? Because that was the card where Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler fell through, UFC 303, and Jiri and Alex Pereira were the main event. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then after that, he took 4 months off, I think, and he fought Khalil Roundtree in April. That's crazy, right? Isn't that crazy?
But you know what it is? It's
So his
everything.
activity, I think he realized like I need to rest. It's the same thing that what's his name? Homeboy from welterweight. Kevin Holland. Same thing that
Yes.
happened with Kevin Holland. He's doing all these fights, he's fighting all the time, and at some point it's gonna catch up with you, right? And that could be the issue what happened with Rodriguez last time out, right? He's just fighting too frequently. Your body needs to rest. And 7 months, you could be right. You can come in and be more active, more fresh, more fast twitch, right? But we'll see, man. I'm not mad at
Also,
the pick at two at one. What is he like plus 200 now or
oh, he's increasing. He's a plus 230
yeah.
now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with people seeing him have a shift, right? Like a lot of people criticize him for you know, the like you mentioned, trying to build his brand, right? He's out winning a drama. He's trying to be more charismatic. He's trying to show his personality more. And a lot of people loved him for that stone face, hard, tough guy, like badass mentality, right? Like, oh, this guy doesn't say much. He just responds chama, comes in and knocks you out, right? So, we don't see a lot of Ankalaev doing shit with Nina, to doing like a lot of
Oh,
like,
he's done stuff, but it's
yeah,
not.
yeah. So, and it has nothing to do with it. It's just like that's a portion of the people's gripe with Pereira. So it's dumb that we're even bringing it up, but it's part of the game. So yeah, it's gonna be
It's
a good
also
fight though, man.
I'll say this. I mean, I'll say this very quickly. Just so we could go over one thing. Things to take into consideration: Ramadan, right? Ankalaev was forced to kind of go on Ramadan, which he will
Yeah,
not have now. So, is that going to be a better factor of it? We're going to find out, right? Now, Pereira, you talked about how he went from the UFC. I saw him to fight UFC 300, right? He fought
yeah.
Jerry. That was a favor. There's somebody that was supposed to fight there that they couldn't get on board. Do you remember who it was?
It was supposed to be Jamal Hill, but Jamal Hill didn't want to. Jamal Hill was supposed to fight Roundtree on that card, and that fight got squashed. And Wait,
Oh no, no, you're thinking about 302,
I'm
303.
thinking of 303.
What? Okay, because Pereira was not going to fight on UFC 300, but something happened that he had to step up.
No, that
I'm
was
sure.
303. That was 303.
No, no, no,
3
no, no. You know why we're confusing it? Because Pereira has stepped up for UFC 300 last minute, UFC 303. Because remember, 303 was the one that Connor said, "F it, my pinky," and they added Diego Lopez, and then he also had to fight. What do you call it? UFC 307, 306. I want to say against Caltry. So where I'm getting at is like the UFC has just like this guy's been like the savior the sa- the savior, I think it is
Yeah.
pronounced. My English fuck up. Um, and he's bailed out the UFC from these main events because they haven't had UFC main eventers to spill those thoughts. Oh, you know what it was, champ? It was Bilal Muhammad was supposed to fight Leon Edwards on UFC 300. I think that
Really?
was the fight. Yeah, I think that was because there was a variety of
Bilal,
different.
they were gonna do Bilal Muhammad as a main event for UFC
They
300.
wanted to do a couple different ones, and then something happened, and that's when Pereira stepped up. Right?
Hmm.
I got to look back at my notes, but I remember because he came out. Oh, he's here, and then he fights again, Connor, and then he fights again because he fought a top 8. Why did he need to fight a top 8? Wasn't on the rankings, right? Because he wanted to fight now. I think he
I'm
just burned
trying to.
himself out, man.
Yeah.
It could
I'm
also be
not.
the thing.
I'm not seeing anything. I'm here. Yeah, maybe it was supposed. I think the with the 300 was it. Was that around? That wasn't around Ramadan, right? No, that wasn't around Ramadan. I don't know
No,
what it was. I don't. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't recall who was supposed to be. I just always knew it as Pereira.
no, but I know somebody else was supposed to fight. There was supposed to be a bigger
Mm.
fight because Alex has been very active. I'm trying to remember what fight, and it wasn't Connor because Connor was 303. Um, very quickly, you saw what Connor did today? He
Yeah,
no showed.
yeah, he rescheduled.
Fuck
I
that
don't
guy.
think, bro. Connor's not gonna fight on the white card, man.
No, he's not.
Bro, the thing about Conor McGregor in his recent years is when you're taking, substances, right? You're volatile. You're random, right? Like you're all over the place. And there's times when he's very, very on it, right? He's very, very on it, and there's times when he's very, very off it. And I think a lot of the stuff that we're seeing is just him, you know, being in that moment. And I just don't think he's reliable, man. I don't think he's gonna be in the card. I don't see it.
Well, and we're mentioning him because it goes back into Pereira. I think Pereira has had to save a couple different fights. After this, I'll do a little bit of research, but I think Pereira the last couple of months he fought too much, and it's also 5 round fights. So you're doing multiple camps for 5 rounds. He he did 4 fights in under a year, under a span of a year. I think
I think
so. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of high level. Even though you finished it early, right? Like a lot of people don't understand. It's the weight cut, the the camps. Even if they're short camps, it's just a lot of things going on. But my pick is Pereira. I think at a plus 230, you can't go wrong on Pereira. Um, and if you're siding with Magomedov, champ, do you look at the live bets and do you hope that Pereira has a good first 2 rounds, and then you sneak money in?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Among us,
see. We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting fight, man. We'll see what they both picked up on, what they both learned from the first time out, and then we'll take it from there.
oh yeah, champ. I think we're good. We'll see
There
you.
we have it.
We'll see you Sunday. Sorry, Saturday.
See you guys Saturday. Make sure you follow us on X. Peace.